Welcome to Shovelware Diggers. Our dig team's currently excavating the Softkey Shareware 2000 Hit Games 2 CD collection. You can find a link in the video description containing the entire directory structure of this archive. Once again, Zed Supremus and Michael Madsen have managed to select all of the same digs, so for week 180, it's their show once again. For more information on how to join the dig team, simply follow the Patreon link in the video description. Now without further ado, let's get started. Our first dig from the duo today is WINGAMES /educate/IQTEST. Okay, so the first of these today is IQTEST, which we got a file id.diz, the 30-minute IQ test. If you'd like to know your IQ, this computerized test will calculate your score with reasonable accuracy? What? I mean, it's spelled right, except for the space there. Don't begin until you're sure you won't be interrupted. You'll have 30 minutes, time by the computer. Don't spend too long on anyone quit. Okay, I'm guessing this is probably formatted for a particular length of characters, but that doesn't actually make a lot of sense, because this is kind of, yeah, it seems like longer than one line. Like, why would you do that? Why would you split it across lines anyways? It's just weird. And we also got the text file here, which is just installation instructions, which it says here that start Windows 3.0, so any guess if this is going to work or not, because Windows 3.0 software doesn't always agree with 3.1. But anyways, here we are. So the 30-minute IQ test, like know your IQs, computer test for reasonable accuracy. You use the mouse to click on the correct answer. So, for example, what color is a big red apple? Well, it's going to be red, of course. Puppy is to dog as calf is to cow. In this group, which object does not belong? Radio, television, banana, computer. Obviously the banana. These words can be arranged to form a sentence. If the sentence is true, click on true. If false, click false. Are clouds white always? Oh, it's asking if the sentence is true after you've rearranged it. Okay. Hey, so apparently there's 50 questions here. We got an about screen here. Apparently this was made by Terry Wilkins. And also it says here, to become a registered user and receive the latest version, plus the color preference analysis test and a catalog of psychological and pre-employment testing programs. He wants $15 for this stuff. Back in 1991. It'd help if someone like this actually listed some credentials, because as far as I can tell at the moment, this is just somebody who just wrote this because he thought he was being smart about it. And yeah, apparently this here has something to do with his color preference analysis thing, which this is just like a little sample of what that's about. But anyways, so I'm probably not going to go through this whole thing. I guess it depends on how easy these questions are. Supposedly this takes half an hour, but let's see here. In this series, what number comes next? 32, 34, 36, 40. Oh, no, wait. It's 4, 12, 20, 20. Okay. I was looking at the answers as the question. 4 to 12 is 8. 12 to 20 is 8. 20 to 28 is 8. So 28 plus 8 is 36. Bicycle is to ride as car is to drive. Brine is to salt as punch is to hit, I think. Or no, wait a minute. Brine is to salt as punch is to... No, I think it might mean like a fruit punch? I don't know. Because I mean, brine, it kind of makes more sense to be sugar than hit. Replica here means copy. In this series, what number comes next? 1, 4, 8, 13. It's an increase of 3, 5, or 3, 4, 5. So it'd be 6 onto that, so 19. In this group, which word does not belong? Goofy. In this series, what number comes next? 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64. In this series, what letter comes next? I like how it starts with ADG. Some ancient DOS games going on here. A, B, C, D, so that's 2 letters. E, F, G, that's 2 letters. H, I, J is 2 letters. K, L, M would be 2 letters. Which letter does not belong in this series? Q, P, O, N, X, M. Which letter does not belong? It's basically going backwards, so it's the X that doesn't belong there. In this series, what number comes next? 1, 3, 2, 4, 6, 5. Interesting. So 1 to 3, then 2 to 4, then 6 to 5. Okay, I see what's going on here. So for every set of 3 numbers, the last 2 are being swapped. So instead of 1, 2, 3, it's 1, 3, 2. Instead of 4, 5, 6, it's 4, 6, 5. So instead of 7, 8, 9, it'll be 7, 9, 8. So 9 is the next number. In this series, what comes next? 3Z, 10Y, 6X, 13W. Okay, so the letters are useless here because the next thing is going to be a number. And because it's multiple choice, it's only given us 2 numbers here to choose from. So 3 to 10 to 6 to 13 suggests that the next number is probably going to be 9. A boat always has weight. In this series, which number does not belong? 151, 17, 4, 101. I almost want to say the 4, just glancing at it, because every one of these numbers has a 1 in it. Or is an odd number. Like, I guess the 0 doesn't count as an odd number. No, I'm still going to say the 4 isn't the one that belongs. 10 men can paint 30 houses in 60 days, so 5 men can paint 15 houses in... Isn't that the same amount of time, 60 days? Okay, so I've already gone through 5 minutes, and I've gone through 14 of the questions. I'm not going to sit here and go through all of these. But let's just see what happens if I hit done here. Following are the correct answers to the questions that you missed. So yeah, I actually did get all the previous questions right, because 15 was where I stopped. So, and for people under 15 years of age, you need to enter your age to recalculate. So yeah, I got all those 14 questions right at least. So yeah, that was a basic IQ test program. I'm guessing it's going to be the exact same questions every single time you run it. Yep. So ultimately, you could just memorize all the questions and then get a perfect score. But yeah, I would recommend, if you really want to do an IQ test sort of thing, go online, because you're going to find much more credible methods for doing this kind of thing. Again, I kind of question about the authenticity of it, just because of the fact that we don't have any credentials listed here. So we don't know if this Terry Wilkins is actually capable of gauging this kind of thing or not. So I think this program would have been a bit more legitimate if he included his credentials here. The next date today is WINGAMES /educate /KIDPUZ. If I had to guess, I'm going to guess that this is going to be like some kind of jigsaw puzzle game. That'd be my guess. Kiddie Puzzles version 0.1. That doesn't bode well. Let's hope this actually works properly. Designed for children from 2 to 6. Program teaches children about the use of mouse and improves hand-eye coordination, and that's all they wrote. What's the text file say here? Kiddie Puzzles Demo Program version 0.1, copyright 92, Vantage Software Company. Kiddie Puzzles is a children's educational program running on under Windows 3 or 3.1. So it says the registered version contains 10 different shapes consisting of animals, people, objects, numbers, and shapes. Oh no, wait, I read that wrong. Registered version contains 10 different puzzles consisting of animals, people, objects, numbers, and shapes. Different puzzles will display randomly to provide continuous fun for children. Demo version contains only 1 puzzle of animals. Okay. And apparently it's saying here that the registration fee is $15. Or for a registered user of PICABC, an earlier program that they wrote, it's only $7.50. Okay, so that's kind of neat that they would offer a discount to people who have already registered a piece of software through them. But let's see what we actually got here. So, puzzles. Okay. And does not maximize. Neither did the last program, but The last program started maximized though, but it didn't need to be. But in any case, so this isn't a jigsaw puzzle. It's put the shape where it belongs. So the lion goes there, kangaroo goes there, and I got the giraffe, I got the wolf, I got the cat, and we got the elephant. And that's it. You hit the OK button and it reshuffles them all. Okay, so this is actually more like those puzzles you get for really young kids, where the pieces have specific slots that they go into, and then you just have to put them into the correct slot. So this is not what this is. I guess that does still technically count as a jigsaw puzzle, sort of. It's just instead of the pieces fitting with other pieces, the pieces are simply being fit into very specific slots for those pieces. So I guess, yeah, for a very young kid, this would definitely pose some challenge. First of all, just the fact that they would have to actually click and drag. Like, that alone is not necessarily an easy thing for a very young kid to do, especially considering we're talking about a mouse here. Like, some of these early mice were not exactly the most comfortable to use if you had really small hands. And then, yeah, if you don't drag it into the right place, it simply snaps it back to where it came from. Although that would have been nice if there was like an option so that if you drag it onto the board, but you don't drag it into the right place, it just sort of stays there. And then when you actually get it right, it would actually like outline it or something. That's one thing I'm noticing here. There's no sound effects. So you don't really have any feedback as to whether you've done it right or not. Because, like, I mean, if I take this elephant here and I move it precisely into the right spot, which I'm actually having trouble doing because it seems to want to, yeah, look at that. It's actually sort of aligning to a grid of sorts. But yeah, if I had it like exactly positioned, which I can't do, well, that's pretty close. Actually, that was exactly it. But yeah, I let go and it just sort of stays there. So I'm not getting the feedback as to whether or not I actually put it in right. Plus, you can't take the pieces out again, which you totally could with a real jigsaw puzzle. But yeah, for what it is, this is a very basic program for very young kids. It doesn't really need to be anything complicated. You don't need super complicated stuff for young kids. You just need it to be something that works. And this works. So there you go. And the last dig for today is WINGAMES /educate /PICABC. Hang on, didn't that IQTEST say something about or no, it was the kid puzzle thing that said something about an ABC program or something? Maybe this is it. But this looks a little weird here because we actually have like this SPK file in a browse.com. And apparently voice, if that's to be believed, in terms of the name.dll file. But let's see here. Pictures ABC. Yeah, okay, so yeah, this was designed by the KIDPUZ people. So we got another text file here. I'm going to guess, yep, Vantage Software. Pretty much the same kind of stuff. So upon activating Pictures ABC, it'll undergo an initialization process for a period of 15 seconds. During this time, a message box will be displayed on the screen, mouse will be disabled. When mouse is re-enabled, you can click the OK button to enter the main program. After initialization, Pictures ABC displays the 26 alphabets. That's a weird way of saying it. I'm sure they're referring to the letters of the alphabet, because that's what you would normally say, the 26 letters of the alphabet. Unless it actually has like 26 different alphabets in here, which I don't think is right. And apparently 4 selection categories: animals, foods, people, and things. Each category is identified a graphic symbol displayed in the blue rectangular area. Default category is animals. You may select the category by clicking the mouse on the category symbol. Use the left and right arrow keys to highlight. You don't see highlight spelled that way very often. The desired category symbol. However, only the animals category contains pictures and voice in the distribution version. So basically the Shareware version. Okay, so this looks like it's basically just going to be like an association type program, associating pictures with letters. in a sense. And apparently the registration fee for this is $20. Okay, let's see how this works. So yeah, it said it would like the mouse literally is not moving whatsoever. It is locked up hard. And there it goes again. So yeah, I wonder why it does that. Like, that's kind of a very weird thing for a program to do. As far as I'm aware, in terms of how Windows 3.1 works, that would basically mean that you are doing all of your processing in real time, which you shouldn't ever be doing. So, yeah, that is kind of weird. Does this one maximum? Oh. Oh boy. Well, that's a thing. So, the program... Okay, that is a little weird. I'm used to seeing programs that can't maximize properly, but take a look at how this got laid out. This clearly got sized for the 800 by 600 resolution I'm using, especially given the fact that most people would have been on 640 by 480. But if I hit this button to resize, or go back to a resizable window, it is very much not the right size right now. So instead of a program that can't maximize, we have a program that can't go back to a non-maximized state. That's kind of weird. Okay, so if I click on the letter A... I think the cycles count might be a little high, because that sounded very squeaky. Let's see if I can do something about that. So if I turn the cycles way down... Oh, that's still high. Yeah, because of the way I have Windows set up in DOSBox, this is not going to sound right. Yes, that's not the fault of the program, the fact that it's sounding so weird like that. That is definitely the fault of how I've got this configured for DOSBox. Not to mention, look at how badly the mouse cursor is chittering around. Well, I'll keep it like this just so we can hear the different voices. Okay, so it definitely was a bear in that one program because there's a bigger version of the bear. Those voices are going to be hilarious just for the fact that it's not playing them right. So yeah, I'm guessing if I click on this category, yeah, the picture is available in the registered version of Pictures ABC. Okay, so you can only click on the animals here. So we got the cat, got a dog, elephant, frog, that didn't even sound like English. Oh wait, what? It says here that that picture is only available in the... Wait, what? Why would you cut off the pictures halfway through? Wait, hang on. Did the text file even say that that was going to happen? Okay, so yeah, it is mentioning that it's only giving a sample of what's in here. And that that all of the sample pictures are in the default animal category, not that all of them are not that every animal in the default not that every picture in the default animal category is there. Just that all the pictures that are in the program are in that category. Okay. So yeah, even though this is the more expensive program, I kind of think this is probably the weaker of the two, because there's not really too much of a point to this one. And I have noticed here that you can actually, you can use the keyboard as well. You don't have to actually, yeah. You can just use the keyboard and make lots of squeaky effects because your computer's too fast. So yeah, this was Pictures ABC. This is definitely another one of those young kid programs, but I think this one's the weaker of the two from this software developer, just because of the fact that this one doesn't really have much to it other than just looking at the pictures and hearing the voice clips. Not to mention is definitely sound speed sensitive, given the way it's playing them back over the PC speaker. So Yeah, I definitely think the other program was the stronger of the two.